Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here with Jason Blaha Strength and Fitness, and once again it's time for another full body workout. But a quick reminder, if you guys will please click like and drop me a comment down below, I'd appreciate it. Like I said I was going to do in the vlog yesterday for the GPP, I want to take some of the stress off the low back, let it recover. It's gotten overly fatigued. I think mostly from all the loaded carries, so I didn't do those yesterday, and I skipped squats today. Funny enough, people will say, well, what about deadlifts? Deadlifts don't put anywhere near the same amount of stress on my low back. I don't really feel them that much, to be fair. In my lower back, I just don't. So again, I just want to let that area heal up. Chill with the squats for just a moment. Bench pressing, I did a slightly different rep range for the back off work. I got 4 reps with my 315. A lot of times I come in, I do 245, 225, and just take them to AMRAPs. I went a little heavier on the back off. I did 275 and got 8 reps. All of these are pause, although I think this next time I really kind of like the high rep stuff for all my non-top sets. So I may come back next week, I think on Friday, and keep trying to PR that 225 because that's been improving. But I feel like at this point, I need to just hammer shoulders and overhead work. Like I've said, I'm going to push the overhead, push the overhead, push the overhead. And I'm going to do lighter weight with high reps on it, and we'll get to that in a minute, to get that range of motion back. I feel like if I just don't beat the joint up with it, I will get there. I feel like I'm getting closer and closer. But yeah, this benching, it felt good, man. The 275, the 8 reps was difficult. Normally, I don't get quite that many ever for back off work when I do this weight. So I feel like my rep work is just getting stronger on the bench. I feel like it's getting stronger. And I feel like if I just get my shoulders back, I'll be able to drive out of the bottom more effectively, because that wide grip for me tends to be sometimes limited by that through my transition point. All right, deadlifts. I didn't have a grip today. So this tells me I'm going to keep hammering the hammer curls, keep doing, because I pulled the weighted carries out and haven't done them in a few days. I feel like my grip just felt weak. Like my grip sucked on that. I mean, I did the reps, but if my grip had been stronger, I could have easily pulled a 3rd rep with that. But I didn't feel like my grip would hold out. So again, I'm going to double down on my hammer curls. I'm going to double down on the hanging leg raises. I'm going to do more toe to bars. So I decided today, you'll get to it later, let's just do more hammer curls. Let's keep hammering that grip. And I get a lot of grip training out of hammer curls. So after this, I'm like, look, let's just go with what I say is great. Squat, bench, deadlift, pull-ups, overhead press. That should be our base builders. So I did my weighted pull-ups today. I got 2 sets of 12 with 10 pounds. I'm going a little bit closer on these this week. Sometimes I like to take them out a little wider. Sometimes I like to go really, really wide. But I feel like here, I want to take them in a little bit closer. I get a little better range of motion. I feel a little more bicep. But I might take them back out wider since I'm going to do hammer curls also. I feel like I get the most lat. So it's always funny. If I go off a field, people say mind muscle connection. For me, wide grip pull-ups, even when people are like, oh, they're a half rep, whatever. It's as far as I can actually go, even on a lat pull down in that position. When I do that, my lats cramp. Like, it's the most intense lat work I've ever had when I do a wider grip, especially with that overhand grip like that. But I like to rotate the grips around a lot. I like to vary it. It keeps overuse down. Just get good at pull-ups. I bumped the thing, so I didn't walk it out far enough. I'm hitting those plates. So for those who are curious, like why I had the funny reps. So I'm just going to step this up. It's like, look, I've had to restart with the empty bar. I'm like, I'm going to get this overhead lockout strength on point, and I may even continue to do some of the kettlebells on the GPP day. I feel like if I do really light weights on the overhead work, I'm eventually going to be able to get into those ranges of motion, and it's just not hard on the joints. Like, I can handle a lot of it. And so in this case, because I need to improve that mobility, I feel like the pull-ups and just doing overhead work, right? And then doing the dynamic stuff like the toe to bars hanging, doing the throws, the tosses with the med ball, stuff like that. It feels like it's trying to open some of this up. So I'm just going to keep hammering it. And I think with anything else, when we're dealing with a mobility situation, you just have to lift into those ranges of motion. That's the number one thing you can do. Stretching, once you have muscle and you're strong, I personally just find stretching doesn't do anything. It does nothing. So I did 3 sets of these, and keep in mind, if I do 3 sets every workout, I did it with just the bar last time. I did 15s. This is still a lightweight. I get it, guys. It's 65 pounds. We can laugh at this all we want. You guys used to see me strict press 225 all the time. but I'm going to have to rebuild that range of motion. And it's because I have no strength at the top half. So I noticed that too. Like if I put 135 on there, I can't get it above my eyes. And I know that sounds crazy. Like I remember you used to do like 10s and stuff with that all the time. I'm aware. I'm aware of that. And in that case, how the mighty have fallen. But you know what? These actually feel like fairly hard work sets. Like even the sets of 12 here, they're hard. And I feel my delts and my triceps and everything. So I'm just going to accept that's where it is. So I'm just going to double down on shoulder work. And I'm going to do band work for triceps and stuff just to keep the volume there. But yeah, shoulders, shoulders, shoulders. And obviously I'm going to do some bicep. But I feel like for me, the stuff I'm just going to really hit real volume. Everything else just going to be strength, do quality work sets, moderate volume. Do my GPP, but shoulders, I'm going to just keep hammering them and try to hit those ranges of motion. And I'm going to work shoulders from a few angles. I'm going to do the plate laterals because I really feel these feel really easy on my shoulder joints. And I get a really good contraction in the lateral head. All right. So I'm going to do these. I'm going to keep doing the throws and things. I'm going to do overhead with the barbell, overhead with dumbbells, overhead with kettlebells. I'm just going to do tons and tons of overhead with just lighter weight. I'm just going to build it up, build the muscle, build the range of motion. I don't have to go heavy on it. And because I've got heavy benching right now, right? I mean, I do work sets with 315 every single major workout, my 3 full body. So I just build it up. And so what? So if I have to use 65 pounds? So what if it just slowly builds? So what if I'm still struggling with 95 coming up? We just do the work. Put in the work over and over and over and over and over. And that's all that we can do. And that's what I'm going to do. So the same thing with the neck work. Because I've noticed I get cricks in my neck. My neck gets intense cricks in it from sleeping and everything. I'm going to just keep doubling down on the neck work again. I feel like, again, the same thing, postural issues with the shoulder. So we have to work the actual range of motion. And then I need to address stuff like, is my neck strong enough? Is it an upper back and a neck situation also contributing? Possibly, so let's just build it. And by that same token, I do all this other athletic stuff. What if I do decide, you know what, I do want to get into a fighting sport later. Let's rebuild my neck and keep my neck super strong. And that way we're ready to deal with all that. And it's more athletic. It helps with my deadlift lockouts. So again, I'm going to do some neck work in here. So shoulders, neck, traps, delts, neck, everything, all of it. Just work all of it until I can get to where I can do that overhead work. Because I feel like for me, even things like the triceps, when I'm strong on bench and overhead press, my triceps are at their biggest. I'm going to do the band work. But my triceps are the strongest they've ever been on isolation work, right? So not a big deal. I've noticed that all this pressing and dips or whatever I'm doing, it keeps my triceps strong. Like I can go a couple weeks at a time without doing any tricep work, come back and hit PRs on it. And I've noticed that. So my triceps are strong. So my triceps are definitely not really limiting, I feel like, my benching or my overhead. So I can just do the really high band work to help with the lockout. That helps with my bench lockout. I know that from my closed grip days. So again, here, let's do hammer curls. Works biceps, works grip, and it's not supine. I want to watch the supine stuff because that could be contributing to the shoulder thing. Well, hammer curls still work the biceps amazingly well. They're shoulder healthy for anyone who's had any impingement where supine work might be contributing. So I'm just going to do hammer curls. Now this was a little light. I got like 16, 17, 18 reps, whatever on these. So I probably need to go a hair heavier, but they felt good. I can add weight next time. They felt good. Worked my grip. So again, I feel like, my grip needs more work on the deadlift, at least based on today. Last time it felt good. And I've had sets of like 6 with the 500 where the grip felt crazy strong recently. So this could be a one-off day, could just be some overall fatigue, but I'm also like, I would rather do the hammer curls then instead of supine curls because I know they improve my grip. And then I finished off with 3 sets of high rep band press downs to failure. And the reps got a little lower. I spaced these out. As I finished up, I went over and did a couple little things and came back a couple minutes later between, because I was like getting my Instapot going, grabbing a couple things. So I came back and forth just to finish them off and make sure that I didn't lose too much performance on them. They were spaced out, not little 1-minute breaks. So they were 3 hard sets. So I did 3 pretty hard sets of these, trying to, again, make sure that I really hammered those triceps because I don't want to do these on the GPP days. If possible, I feel like I need to avoid them. Why? I don't want my triceps too fatigued walking into the bench days as I'm going to bench heavy 3 days a week. So I can do them at the end of these workouts. And again, just push them pretty hard. It'll help whatever I need for the bench lockout because this does carry over and biomechanically it makes sense why it carries over. Not really a point of contention. So again, but double down on a lot of the grip, double down on the delts. Delts going to be delts for the most part, and lots of overhead work until I get that range of motion restored. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.